Hello, everybody. My name is Quiet Hopkins, and I'm an inspiring IM engineer, and I'm here for another Okta video. So this video, I'm gonna be just it's gonna be regarding the how to pass the Okta Certified Professional exam. The Okta Certified Professional exam is kind of like the beginner exam on the core line of certifications that Okta has, and it is, I must say, before I get into the details of it, it is probably by far the best product exam I've taken, because it has a hands-on component to the exam in which I'm a big fan of hands-on. Even at my daily on my job day to day, I love doing things hands-on. But this exam has used to be under a classic in the Okta Classic engine, which had I'm not sure about how many exactly questions it was. I believe it was more than 30 questions or so, or it was mainly multiple choice. But then when Okta moved to the OIE, the Okta Identity Engine, and now they have a two-part. It's a two-part exam. Part one, you have the multiple choice, which is in Octa Professional. I believe it's like 15, maybe around 15 to 20 questions. And then part two is the for use case scenario, the hands-on part. So let me share my screen here and give you guys a look on what it is there. And let me see here. All right. All right. So let's go to all right. So here you guys go. This is on the Okta certification page. And if you go into look at Okta certifications, you can find the link to this page. Um, so as I was explaining earlier, Okta has the Okta Professional Certified Professional is actually beginning the exam. So you can't take, like, for example, the Okta Administrator exam. What You have to pass the Okta Professional in order to even sit and write the Administrator exam. So as I guess, again, you have the Okta Professional, which is the beginning one, and then you have your administrator, then the consultant, and then you get to your developer, and then architect, and then, like most certifications, like specifically like AWS or Azure, you have some specialty ones, which workflow specialty and access gateway specialty. I would say, depending on if you're going on an IM engineer route, um, if you just take at least the professional administrator, you know, these don't have, like, I would say, if you want to take a special like workflow specialty, I would say that would be something I think myself I would go for, because man, work you could do a lot of great things with Okta workflows. I mean, it really handles a lot on your day to day. It does all the heavy lifting for you. It does a lot of automated tasks like for you without even having to do anything. So, but this for videos regarding the Okta Certified Professional. So we have the you have the Okta Certified Professional hands-on configuration exam. Again, like I stated earlier, used to have, click here and see what that is. So we used to have the classic engine, and that was just mainly multiple choice. So basically, what is it saying? This gives you an introduction of the exam, how to use a study guide, and it just basically says, hey, Okta certified professional possess foundational knowledge in the area of security and identity management. They have hands-on experience on completing day-to-day operational tasks to support users of the Okta service. Okta certified professionals have familiarity with Okta technologies and possesses related to simple directory integration, single sign-on, SSO federation, and application provisioning aspects of user lifecycle management. So this really teaches you the basics of Okta. If you never don't know identity access management, but at its core, this is Okta is very good. If you want to know about identity access management, is very good for someone beginning into it, because you can take a lot of the framework and principles to any, whether it be Entra or Ping Identity or SailPoint um, or ForgeRock. You can use a lot of the principles and carry this anywhere. But I chose Okta because for one, it is very user friendly, is a very good exam, and it gave me confidence really, especially for a hands-on exam. It gave me confidence because you know, I actually I did something in here. I uh demonstrated how to integrate a application, how to set up for example, an org-to-org application, set up group rules in the exam. So it really shows employers, hey, this person passes hands on, this person can do some stuff in here. So the first part of the exam, I will say the first part of the exam, it says here's 30 minutes, and then part two is an hour, 120 minutes. But keep in mind, far as you have to do the multiple choice part one first in the exam, and then you'll move on to the you get the hands-on part of it, which is you get four use cases. I think generally each exam is really like you get four use cases as far as the hands-on portion. The exam is $250. And if you have to and ever need to retake the exam, it'd be $100. I do remember back in over last summer, I believe it was, they did have a promotion for $50. You could take any of the exams for $50. I believe some of the premier practice exams you think you would take for free. They generally regularly cost like $75. So I wasn't fortunate enough. I missed that at that time. So I ended up um, I ended up paying the two first actually. I'll get into preparation in a second, but it's $250, and this exam is really highly regarded. I mean, I've looked on LinkedIn and a lot of other job boards. This is literally, this is a six-figure salary job, like certification. So and then let's go here to, well, I'll show you in a minute how to reschedule to schedule your exam. The exam company that does the actual exam is called Examity. Um, and again, I'll show you that in a second. But just to give you some more detail about this exam, especially with the multiple choice, it's not your typical most exams where it's, you have to kind of study like a bunch of keywords and phrases and see where they're tricking you. It's it's I would say that's one of the things I don't like about most certifications in the industry is I like this is really test your knowledge. If you've done the study material and really you have the knowledge, it gives you like a pretty much a yes or no format of answering, form yes or no. It takes all of the, again, a lot of the kind of minutia, I guess you want to say, out of these exams. Like I've taken many exams where it's not like, not that I'm saying any other exams aren't valuable, but as far as, they're really, most exams are really theory based nowadays, not really much hands on. So I would say that you'll get some questions like, for example, like, hey, does this user attributes, like, what are the four required attributes to create an Okta user? It'll give you you don't, it won't give you your answers all at once. It gives you one at a time. So you might click yes, no, for, it depends how many answers you get, but it doesn't give you all at once like most certification exams do. Um, so, but one of the things about Okta exams is, uh, um, when you do the questions, one thing about Okta I would say I do wish they would have is, when you, in most cases, most certifications, if you go to a question and let's say you're not sure of it, and then you want to go back and go back, you cannot go back. You have to just continue on with the exam. That's the only thing I wish they would fix. Um, so the and then so this let's scroll down here to the part two of this. So the part two, I would say, is if I could give anyone advice, would be spend majority of your time in your study on the part two portion of this exam, because again, this is like I said again, I can't really say, like I could say like this is the most fun exam I've taken. It's very fun. It was very, the use case of the scenario was very fun. Um, so I would suggest studying for this part. Sign up for a free Okta trial account. Okta for 30, you get for 30-day free trial, and you can test out every single portion of this exam on your Okta trial tenant. Like the first part is, your basic identity access management module here. You'll learn things about single sign-on, what OIDC, OpenID Connect, app integrations, SAML app integrations. Um, you will in the hands-on configure a a SAML integration in the in the OIN, the Okta Identity Network. And then you'll go into create users. You'll create groups, group rules. As you could, if I could scroll down and show you, you'll 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 create new attributes or map new attributes. You'll do a lot. You do a lot in this exam, but it is really straightforward. I would say, if you can, I would say first, really get learn the learn the admin portal when you sign up for your 30-day trial. I would say learn it very well, because it will help you. Yeah, I will promise you it will help you. So if you don't do any hands-on practice, you will not pass this exam. It does require a lot of your. I would say, if you like, keep me honest here, probably about 70. I would say spend 70% of the time doing the hands-on part two of this. you know, so you could take a day or two and read over the documentation for the multiple choice. But again, it's all about getting this knowledge, but the hands-on knowledge will really prove to people, like show that you know how to do this. So, and so you get a use. Let's go ahead to subject areas. Like, this is actually very accurate. So you have an account creation, which you'll do all these tasks here, like create users, create custom attributes, assign user admin role, update user profiles. You'll do all these things, and you can actually go click a link and click each one of these and get some deep knowledge on how to do this. So you can go and create users in your own tenant, and or you try to set up your own org to org application in your own tenant. So you can take, how I would do that, is you can create a free trial account, and then I've seen people do this, get a developer account as, I guess, as their service provider. You could do that to kind of practice this if you like. And this is something that you will do on the exam. And this is I would say, on this exam, this part here, the SAML app integration, really is very important to know. It's very important to know. And then you got security. You'll learn about this, like, you will add or remove authenticators. It says configure enrollment options, meaning when they mean like enrollment options, they will mean something like you have basically, it's like what authenticating caters are required, like a email, password, Okta Verify, so forth. You can have them disabled. You can have it say, hey, I want users to access this application only through an email or password, or you can really get granular with it. But these are certain things that you must know for this exam, and very important. So I can't stress enough. I would spend a lot of majority of your time studying this, and 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 also there are many videos, like, especially like, really do, like, when you learn practicing simple SSO SAML integrations, or setting up applications to Okta. Like, I've seen a lot of videos on Salesforce, HR, Bamboo, Azure, or even a lot of people too as well. I would say an important thing, not for this exam, but also the administrator exam, is learning how to integrate Active Directory with Okta, or at Microsoft Azure AD. Microsoft Azure Entra used to be Azure AD integration, or learning how to sell LDAP. Those are that's very important, especially at the Okta administrator level slash, or if you want to say engineer level. So I would say, again, you can locate this page. We'll put a link in the bottom here when I get done this. So preparation. Let's go over the preparation. So if you go to, like, far as the preparation is concerned, if you once you sign up for a free trial account, you'll use your credentials you'll access this here, the Okta Learning portal. So let me show you what I mean here. So if you go, oh, just a quick question, just a quick suggestion here. Before I go there, um, Okta has great documentation. I would say second to none. They have great documentation, very easy to follow documentation. You can either go to the here to the help center. They have different, like, how to do how to get started. They got a lot of get started links here, how to use Okta. Let me see what we got here. This is content library. They have a ton of resources like here to pass this exam. Let's see what else we have. Let's see, training. Okay, here's what I really want to show you guys. So this is when you get your free trial account, you'll you'll I would I'll post this link too. This is one of the things that I used, and I want to give a shout out to my to I Am Guru. If you look at his page, I'll send a link down his page as well. I took his training and then also used this to supplement to especially if you're new to Okta, you don't know what Okta is. Like, in this case, I didn't know it was at the time. And so you go here to the LinkedIn Learning portal. So as most certifications, you do have some free and paid resources. So, like, this is you'll have most, but I would say take the free Okta Essentials curriculum. It really helps you really it's really geared towards the Okta Professional exam. And you also have paid resources. Let's say you work for a company that uses Okta. I would say I would suggest doing that on demand, because those classes can be very expensive. Some of those are like a couple $1,000 just for, class. Or it is very, 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 like, let me see here. Let me give an example of one. Like I said, this one here, Okta Essentials. This is $2,700. That's very expensive. I mean, you can do the on demand for free. Like, this is if you're a person that likes instructor training, lead training, that's, if your company's willing to do that, that's great. But I mean, I recommend just doing the Okta Essentials here. And I mean, again, you'll learn Okta by doing a lot of hands-on. It's like, this is only 3 days. And so let's go back, and let me see here, on demand. Did I do? Yeah. So I go here. If you go here, like, this is free, by the way. So let me go into, maybe it should take me where I need to go. Second. Okay. So, okay, I completed this, but it would take you to this learning portal. And this is the one I use. I could find here. Let me see. View transcript. Okay. This is what I would suggest. The introduction to Okta is formerly Okta Basics. This is partly what I use as well. So if I can open a curriculum here, it will, I wouldn't, so you have a workforce identity cloud and then you have customer identity cloud with Auth0. I wouldn't worry too much about the customer identity Auth0. That is a whole separate product that Okta has. We're more concerned about the workforce identity cloud. So I just studied this curriculum. It doesn't take long at all, but it does give you a lot, especially if you're just a really new like I was. This is great. This I would say this is great. I mean, again, they have a top-notch training. I mean, just a lot of I've done a lot of like learning portals, even like a lot of training on learning portals, and not nothing good like this because it really understandable, easy, especially if you do not know anything about access management or even Okta as a product. I mean, and then you have Okta workflows. It teaches you just what they are. You don't. I would say this: you do not do anything with Okta workflows in this exam. This Okta workflow is more on the administrator slash engineering Okta engineer side of things. You will not see this on this exam, but you might get some questions maybe, but not really like it won't. You won't get more in depth. This is more of a high overview of just the different products and products like features that Okta has, the Workforce Identity Cloud has. So I would really recommend this. This is very good to have. And so that's for it for the preparation. So if you want to go to register for the exam, so let's see here. Go back to here. So okay. All right, so it says I complete. Yeah, this is show up because I had written and passed this exam. So now I'm working on the administrator one. But for the professional, you have practice exams. So this is one good thing that Okta as well. You don't have to go to any alternate or any third party, um, practice exams or pay somewhere like it. I got everything that I needed for this preparation all on their site. I didn't have to go anywhere as far as what questions are going to be there. It's mostly like I said again, it's all mostly hands-on exam. And so if we go to so you have what they call standard practice exams and premier. The standard practice exams are going to just pretty much be the multiple choice. So the Okta Professional has 15. The Administrator has 35. I believe the other ones have about around 30 as well, 30, 30, 35. But the Premier practice exams will have the hands-on portion of what you'll see on the exam. It won't be the exact same questions or use cases. Well, if you take the Premier practice exam, it's the same steps, but you might have a few changes here and there. Like for example, you may like in it may have say, hey, they want you to set up a an org to org application. You might have a different name. It might give you a different name, or they might have you create users and groups in here. You might have more users to create in the actual exam than you would in a practice exam. So it's really a small number of changes. I would suggest like I think the premier practice exam is $75, which all of them are. But again, you do have that part one and part two, especially the hands on to practice. I would really highly suggest uh, purchasing this. Really, it's worth the investment. Uh, if you don't purchase the premier practice exam, it's very be hard to very pass this exam. Really be hard to do because especially if you never took an Okta certification before, like in my situation that I was in. And I would suggest purchasing this, and then it again. the testing proctor is through Examity. I mean, the experience I had was great. It was very simple, straightforward. Uh, so I mean, but I would say to get this because it helped me a lot. You once you purchase this, you have 7 attempts. You have 7 attempts to take this practice exam. So you get pretty much 7 times it tries to do this. So I would suggest like really, you know, just walking through each step and doing this. And, you know, I would say keep, watching, learn, navigate around your tenant. Know the tenant very well. That will help you in this exam. Practice the study guide because you will see what in the study guide is. It's not something they just put in there. You will do this what's in the study guide. So so if we go so let me give you an example of. I'm going to click on this administrator one because I've taken this exam. But this is kind of the same premise. So if you go here, it'll prompt you to start exam. So I'll go here and it will prompt you to go to the exam provider, which is Examity. So this is Examity. So Examity is an online proctor, not like kind of not like Pearson View or other ones like that. But I like to be honest, I like Examity. It's pretty straightforward. Um, and you set up your basically you start off by setting your profile, set up your profile such that it'll give you a glimpse. This is a glimpse of my profile, what I did, and then go back to dashboard, and then you can start the exam. Say if you have, oh well, you want to first schedule the exam, or if you say you schedule exam, say hey, look, I'm not ready to take it this day. You can always reschedule. When you start, I would suggest going on like at least 15 minutes before your exam. Um, to get everything, your systems checked and all that, and making sure that everything's good for the proctor because they'll ask you a lot of as guys may know in any proctor exam they will ask you a bunch of questions and have you, especially if you're taking it from home, look at your space and everything and all that. Make sure you don't have a phone present and all that. So you'll go through the same thing you would any other proctor provider. So then on the practice exam. But see, the practice exam when you purchase the practice exam, it will exactly go through the same process you would the actual exam. You'll take a picture of yourself, like a photo, have you have a photo, and then go through your system checks to check that the system's okay. And then you'll click like let me show you something like so what you'll do. So you want to schedule exam. So here, I have the certified administrator, but I just want to show you what it is. So it'll take you here. Like you want to schedule. They say, hey, I want to schedule this. This actually applies to professional, all the OKTA certifications. So if I want to take the exam, tomorrow, I want to take it tomorrow, and I'm gonna say, hey, I want to take this tomorrow, like at 10 a.m. So I can go schedule it. And she asked me if I'm sure. Yes. And I'm okay. I'm scheduled. So this will actually be my third attempt doing this. But I have 4 more attempts to do this, and then I'll have to pay another $75 if I want to keep practicing. But I don't. I like to be prepared by that by the end of this. Um, so this is how the occupational professional how you actually register for the exam, and then you can log out. You log out. But one thing I would say about the practice exams is it when you do especially multiple choice, it goes a question that like you actually can once your exam's done, you can always go back and then you do the review, but you can't go back and change answers. But you can review the answers, and you can actually click the feedback. It give you feedback on why the question was correct or incorrect. And it'll give you the correct answer and then why it was correct or incorrect. That's one thing that was very good about that exam. But I wish they would let during the exam they would let you go back if you if you wasn't unsure about a question. But and then also I would say on the practice premier practice exam, you can actually start the part two before you can start the part one. You can actually do that. But on the real exam, you have to do part one first, and then you go to part two. Um, and then Okta exams are all graded on the system log. So let me show you something if I could. Let me mm, second try count. Okay. Uh, see something. God, it's my password. All right. 1 second. All right, I am back. Let me get my phone real quick. Let me go back to signing in. All right. So I got my push notification. Okay. All right. So as you when you sign up for your free trial account, you'll be an admin, a super administrator from your when you sign up for an account, as you would any provider like a cloud provider like AWS or Azure. You're going to be the global administrator, for example, for Azure on your account. So this this portal here, this is the what the users will see, the user facing. Like say users have Office 365 or any applications, these just will show up here. You see, if those are familiar with Azure, um, you'll have this feature you have as well when you do like especially as a identity provider, you have like your applications on here. So let's go to the admin portal. So let me type in my password, get my push notification again. Yes, it's me. All right. All right. So signing me in. Let me exit out of there. So this is the Okta portal, admin portal. So this is what I was saying earlier for preparation. Know this very well. Get used to each of these tabs here, and because you'll get questions, especially in the practice exam, or I mean the actual exam. Things in an Okta dashboard, like you get some simple questions, like for example, you get questions basically like around what's in some of the tabs here, like use like so let's go to users. Like you get example like if you go here, like they might say it's for example a question, hey, how do you create an Okta user? Which they probably won't ask you that, but just for example, you can say, hey, you go into sign into the admin portal, and then you go to people, and then you go to add person, and then and you create when you go to create the person, you'll have see these are the you'll log in, you'll actually enter the details on the required attributes here. And then if you want to set your like especially as administrator, if you want to set the password or have them do that, you can as well. But they'll ask you some simple questions like that. But I mean, just know this very well because you're going to be using this in this hands-on portion a lot. So when I was talking about earlier about an org to org application, you'll get something like this. This is the OIN. This is the Okta Integrated Network. So this you if you browse here to app catalog, they'll have you like you can create like a was it type in org to org. This is what you'll actually be doing in or toward integration. And as an Okta, this is a lot of the different protocols that you can do with org to org. So this is what you'll be doing in the exam. That's why I was saying use this, purchase the practice exam and know this and practice in your own trial tenant as well. I would say, you can create yourself a developer account and kind of mimic the org to org. Like, I mean, and then Okta has very good documentation on this as well. Like, and then so when I was talking about earlier about how Okta grades this, Okta grades this through here, which is the system log. So when you go to the Okta exam and do different various tasks, what they ask you in the use case, they're grading looking at this. The system is grading and looking at have you followed every step. It'll give you marks on it. So make sure when they ask you to that's why a lot of times when they ask you for a name for something, copy and paste as much as you can because you know it's again it's very straight easy forward exam. You just got to know this admin portal very well. This is very because this also shows employers, hey, look, this guy knows this person knows what they're doing. Especially this exam, I mean, this exam alone, I would say, does that. It's not theory at all. It's not, you get a little bit of theory, but not, I would say about 90% of it's just hands-on knowledge. So, you'll go into here, like direct, you'll create groups, people groups. This is one thing about Okta. It's very big on like very big on attributes. So a lot of the rules you'll put in, especially workflows, might do on certain attribute based on certain attributes. So here you have a user's default is, whatever you're going to see it every time but you have also like identity providers, directories, like groups. So we have an Okta group, and then let's say you want to create another group, you can create group rules. Like here, let me show you something. Like here, this is the out of the box group that you'll have. You have every one group, and then you have Okta administrators group. This is what you'll get out the box. So, and then if you would create group rules, you can create a rule stating, say, hey, I want quite if, well, hold on. Let's say for the rule, let's say, hey, let's say I want suspended, what is it, uh, marketing group rule. So let's say I hire some people for our marketing department, and let's say I want to use the attribute of department and then marketing here, and then I assign it to the marketing group. So that essentially anybody with that attribute of marketing will be automatically in that marketing group, and anybody with that attribute. But in order for that to work, you have to activate that role. So, like, let's just do a little example. So, like if I have, let's say let me see if I can, um, let's see, Mary Green here, Mary Green. So let me go to, this is what you'll be actually doing in the exam. You could be going and navigating. This is why I say know this portal, like play around with it, create users. When you go in here, you edit. Let's say, hey, I want this. Let's go down to here. Let's go about it the department. Let's say marketing. Marketing. So let me save this. All right. So I'm gonna do a refresh and let me do create groups. Let me create a group. Uh, marketing. Marketing group. Marketing group. And then I can just put description. uh, members, let's say only for members of marketing team. Just my spelling. And then click save. And then let's refresh that. And then you see a marking group. So then we want to add a rule to this group. So let's say marketing, marketing rule. And then user attribute. So this is what I mean. You can go by the first name, email, for example, title, but we're going to just go by department string, and then equals marketing. Now, when you notice why I went and changed Mary's to their attribute department and put it to marketing, this is why. So I want to just demonstrate kind of the power this is, and then assign to uh, marketing marketing group. Okay, so you can click save, and then this is very important. This rule will not take effect unless it is activated. So you want to activate it. I simply just do a refresh. All right, let's go to groups. Yeah, voila. We have one person in there, and let's see who that is. That's Mary. And Mary's in that group based on the marketing rule. You're going to be doing something like you're going to be doing this in the exam. So really familiarize yourself with, especially with the directory tab here, application tab, security. I would say in the exam, even the practice exam as well, like know mainly these three things. Like you want to know everything here, but if you're studying here, especially hands-on, learning how to create users groups and add group rules, profile editor is very important to know, and also applications, the OIN. Just like if you go to applications, you might get questions like this as well on the hands-on, not the multiple portion of it. So as here, it's dating today. Okta has 8,000 integrations more than anybody. Not even Microsoft has that many. I mean, so you have so many here. And then I will also get very familiar with authenticators, authentication policy, global session policy, profile enrollment, identity provider. Like these are, I would say these five here really knows well because you will be doing this in exam. Workflows, not so much. But again, if you look at the report, you system log. This is what you're going to be graded on. This is what the system's going to be looking at. Your log. So they're going to look at it. Hey, and I will say the hands-on portion is very highly weighted on the exam. That's why I would say spend a lot of time doing the hands-on because when you get in the real world, you're going to have to know how to do this. You have to know how to do simple things like what here this exam because it you know don't spend a lot of time on theory because you have a lot of exams that have a lot of time on theory and it doesn't prepare you much in the real world. So so that's it. So let's go back to here. Um, go back to the hands-on part. Go back. Okay, so there you have it. I mean, this is how you study the OKTA Professional, mainly the OKTA Professional exam. Again, you use these the resources like I say, just go. There are a lot of free documentation and a lot of the free curriculum here that I just showed you. Again, if you go back here, take this intro to the OKTA basics. This will help you. This is really geared for the OKTA Professional. So, I mean, I would take this. So I just want to before I get off, I just want to say thank you, everybody. Hope everybody has a great holiday. I will be posting another video coming soon on the I'm probably might do some entre. I'm looking to do some entre stuff. Give Okta a little break a little bit, but I mean, I love Okta so much. I love doing things in here, and I love you guys enjoying this journey with me and all the support. And so again, I might go over and I might do another Okta video, but and I'm because I'm gonna try to work for some more entre level access to stuff. So, but keep the support. I just want to say thank you for all the support, guys, and you guys have a great day. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.